Hey guys, in this episode you'll see us bringing in the most players that we've ever brought in. The third season of Manchest United's rebuild comes to an end. Could we win any prizes? And what kind of players did we bring in? Go ahead and watch the rest of the video to find out. Let's start off with the youth intake. It's an average intake and it's not good at all. The best person is Matty Kennedy, and this guy is okay, but he's unambitious. I don't have anything for that guy. Then the second best guy is Jack Hickley, which is just round out terribly. 15 heading, 15 passing, 13 technique. Can't really do anything with him. And then Max Wilson. So let's hope that anything else happens, or otherwise this is one of the worst youth intakes I think I've ever seen. The end of the third season, the 25-26 season, is upon us. And let me show you how we did. Where we left off, we were right here. We just lost against Liverpool, and after that we didn't really play too well. Well, drawing against the Nottingham Forest and losing against Liverpool because we got a red card very early on meant that we also got knocked out of the FA Cup once again. We then went on to play in the Champions League, in which we did pretty well. And in the league we had mixed results again, winning against Luton, but then at home losing against Tottenham. It's just very bad. Then in the league we were still struggling a little bit, also losing 2-4 to Crystal Palace. No idea how that happened actually, because after that we went 4-0 to Man City, so I have no clue. Anyway, we did however get beaten in the quarterfinals of the Champions League by Manchester City on penalties this time. Unfortunately that we couldn't really pull it over the edge in this match, where I'm pretty sure we should have won. But yeah, unfortunately the FM gods weren't with us. And funny enough, Benfica actually managed to win it last season. As you can see, let me just go ahead to the final. They were faced against Barcelona, held Barcelona on a 0-0 and then won on penalties, which is very impressive. They also knocked out Manchester City and before that Juventus. So they did earn it to win it. It's very impressive to see that they actually win it, but it's, I guess, just the FM gods saying that this save is going to be different because Atletico and Benfica winning it, two teams who you don't really expect it to win, but they win it, so that is a nice change of pace, I suppose. Then let's go ahead and jump into this season so far. This season I've only played friendlies. I've already done some transfers, but I don't really want to show them to you yet. I'm going to be showing you them at the end of the transfer window, and at the end of the transfer window you'll see what we did. We have about 90 million to work with, so that's nice, and I feel like we're going to be selling some other players. As you can see, in the Premier League I'm going to be playing 4 games before in this episode. Arsenal, Leicester, Aston Villa and Brighton. I hope we're gonna get the 4 full points from this, but you never really know. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be simming forward to the end of this transfer window. I'll show you all the transfers. I'm doing it a little bit different than in other episodes because I think we know the gist of it. Nothing really special is being shown. The only special thing, and I think I can show you this because I currently have 51 million, so I did already do something, is that the finances are going better and better. Because if we go to the debts and loans, we now have a 117 net debt with still a lot of loans here, but the net debt is only 117, which is not that bad. Of course we do have a really big loan right here, which original debt was 700 and it's still now it's 175, so it's not that big anymore, so doing very well. Salary wise we are upping it up a bit more once again, because I did want to strengthen the team so we could really challenge for the Champions League and the Premier League this season. Anyway, I will be simming forward another month or so until the 1st of September, and then I'll be back with all the signings and the sales that we've made. Before I completely forgot to show you this, but we've finished second in the Premier League, so once again not doing too bad. In our first ever season we finished 4th and now 2nd twice in a row, which is not that bad. We are one of the best, and we could really challenge for the title if we just win, you know, those games against like lower teams. For example, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, West Ham. I don't understand how we're not winning those. If we win those, then we're really challenging for the title. Because the big games against the big clubs, we're usually winning. So looking forward to this season, how we can do. This is how we did last season, and also funny to show you is that if you go to the XG table, we should have been in first. Oh, this is weird. I think this is the XG table for this season already. If I were to show you the XG table of last season, we were supposed to come in first, but unfortunately we didn't. So I have really big hopes that for this season we can actually do it. Anyway, without further ado, jumping in to the end of the transfer window, showing you what kind of transfers we made in this third season as Manchester United's boss. So we are back. It's the 5th of September 2026, and we are currently in our third season with Manchester United. This is how we did in our first opening 4 games. A win against Arsenal, Leicester and Brighton, and drawing against Aston Villa, which was very unnecessary, but sometimes your big name players such as Pafundi and Kvaratskhelia just really didn't turn up, unfortunately. We then also won in the Carabao Cup, which is good to see, beating Liverpool. We haven't done that a lot in this series. So off to a very good start, only that one draw that really is bad for us. Anyway, I will be showing you now what kind of transfers we made, what kind of players we sold, and let's start with a player who left the club, but for a very modest fee. First things first, a very random transfer here. Carl Jacob Hein, I wanted to bring him in because I needed a backup goalkeeper, so I brought him in for 3.7, but then I found someone even better. So I wanted to sell him on, and I sold him on for 4.6. So in the same transfer window, I made a profit of 1.1 million on him. Nothing really noteworthy, just wanted to show you. Then another sale. Japhet Tanganga left after only just one season for us. He didn't really play a lot, and I just looked back at my data sheet and I saw that this guy isn't really going to be very good for us. So decided to sell him on to Saudi Arabia, 7.7 mil, made a little bit of profit on him, and also signed a replacement, which you will see very shortly. 5 more players to go, and the first one is a goalkeeper. Altay Banyadir left for 10 million to Saudi Arabia after we bought him for 5 million. Well, the game did, he was already there. Didn't really get to play a lot for us, was happy to see him go because I got another replacement goalkeeper for him. I also sold our other goalkeeper, and let me jump straight to him now. Because also Andre Onana left the club. He left for Al Ali, 36 million we got for him, which is a fair price. I don't really need anything else. He was getting better, but I just don't, something about him I just didn't like. Last season he was worse for us than the season before that, so I just wanted to get him out of the club, and I already had someone on my radar who I wanted to buy, and you'll see that shortly. A much younger goalkeeper who is almost the same level and can still improve a whole lot. Then someone who I already told you about last episode. Anthony is leaving for Bournemouth. We agreed to sell him for 37 million, which means what we made a loss of 60 million on him. At Bournemouth, he's doing pretty okay. For us, he never really got going, but 7 goals and 7 assists, 6 player of the matches as well, is pretty good for Bournemouth. However, Anthony is now playing in the Championship because he got relegated with Bournemouth. Anyway, not of our concern anymore. Anthony's out and we got a nice little bit of money for him. And our second highest sale is Jeremy Frimpong. He's only been for us for 1 year, but Barcelona came knocking and he just wanted to leave. We could get up to 75 million for him if he plays, I think 50 games that is, and I think he's going to do that because for Barcelona he's going to be playing, I hope, enough. This guy never really made an impression. Last season 10 assists, but because we changed our tactics. I didn't really have a spot for him anymore because as a fullback, he's not that good. As a wingback, he's very good, but as a fullback, not that good. So I decided to just sell him on a little bit of a loss, but with that money, we also invested it into other very good players. And then the biggest sale of them all, Luka Sušić left for 60 million to Arsenal. I bought this guy 2 seasons ago for 17.25. He didn't really play a lot. Arsenal came in for a bit of 60 million. I was like, yeah, let's let him leave because I didn't really have a place for him to play. He's very good as a Mesla in that middle of the field, but we don't really have someone playing there. So Luka Sušić, after just 1 season, 1.5 seasons, I do think, he's left for Arsenal 60 million, and that money we spent on replacements. Before we jump in to the players who we signed, please don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe if you want to see more. It really helps me out a ton. And without any further ado, let's jump straight into what kind of players we signed. And the first guy we brought in, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. I got him on a free because he was let go in Saudi Arabia. This guy is 31 years old and still insane. Look at those mentals, physicals and technicals. He can play anywhere on the pitch, and I think he's going to be a rotational player, but this guy at 31 years old, for only 2 seasons we have him, is going to be insane. Very happy to have him in. Very versatile player, can play anywhere. Welcome, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. As I told you before, the signing of Hein wasn't really necessary after signing Dean Henderson. We bought him for 3.6 million from Crystal Palace. He didn't really get to play in the first team there, but I really wanted him back because he fulfills some squad registration. He's going to be a backup for us, very nice, just a handy signing to have in. Dean Henderson as the handy signing on 75k a week for 4 years is a bargain. Then after that we have a very promising wonderkid, Mark Bernal. This guy we sold for 13.5 million for Barcelona. He's going to be a backup centre back for us, for the squad registrations. All down the spine of the game. So really looking forward to what this guy can bring. He's just going to be a backup wonderkid, but don't expect too much from him. Then another rotational player we brought in, Kieran Dewsbury Hall. He was relegated with Southampton once again, so we decided to pick him up for 42 million. This guy is very well rounded, very good in that defensive midfield position, and that's where we're going to be playing him. On 110 a week, fills also again the squad registration spots, so very happy to have him in. And then our second most expensive signing this transfer window. Welcome Noah Darvic, the youngster from Barcelona. Didn't get a lot of playing time. However, he did, but they sold him on for some reason. We only had to pay 77 million for him, and he's been lighting the Premier League on fire. 7.8 average rating, 2 goals, 2 assists. This guy is insane. He's a starter for us immediately. Very nice. 77 million is going to be a bargain. Trust me on that. So Noah Darvic, welcome to Manchester United. Our most expensive signing for this transfer window is once again a defender. Piero Hincapié joined from Bayern Leverkusen. We activated his release clause of 86 million and he is in immediately. He's going to be a backup, but he's going to be a very important backup. I showed you Bernal already, and Bernal is going to be important, but he's going to be more of a backup. Hincapié is going to be the player who we sub in whenever we have one of our big ball-playing defenders out. So welcome Piero Hincapié. I'm sorry to bore you with all of these transfers, but it's been a very busy transfer window. There's just a few more players, wonderkids, who I wanted to show you, which didn't really make the list. For example, Rafael Motta came in, we signed him on a free, we loaned him out to Bristol City. The same goes for Rafael Lombardo, loaned him out to Bournemouth. This guy is absolutely insane, good potential, perfectionist. This guy, paying 7 mil for him is going to be insane. Trust me on that. Loan them out immediately. And then we also signed a few other players. Calvin Caton, we signed on a free just to fill in the voids. And also Stephen Bunny. Don't expect a lot of these guys. I just got them in for their determination. But then a big signing. Kenny Sutton, a younger wonder kid who we brought in. 17 years old. Already looking insane. Model citizen. I hope this guy is going to go pretty far. 30 million paid for him, wanted to loan him out, but no one really wanted him, so he's going to spend another little season in Manchester. And then Dean Martin, also one kid who we brought in, also very good. Also loaned out to an English club, so looking forward to how he can develop. And of course, last but not least, a new starting goalkeeper, Dennis Simon. This guy is already better than Onana is, and he could still improve a lot. Very happy to have him in. Going to see how he can do in his first 4 games. He played pretty okay, better than Onana, I would have said. So very happy to have the wonder kid Dennis Simon in, and I think that's all that really happened. As you can see, a very busy transfer window with 676 in last season, and this season 189 in. A lot of different faces. I will show you right away what the squad's looking like. If we go to tactic, you can see how we're playing. So Simon is in goal, Scalvini and Lukaba are in the defense, Inacho and Martinez are our fullbacks, Romero and Neves in the middle, Musiala, Pafundi, who has been incredible development he's had. Very insane player already, could still improve, so very happy to see that. Kvarskelia has gone to the advanced forward position, which means that Højlund, our top scorer from last season, is now on the bench, such as and I think I don't even have place for Savic, McTominay or Rashford to take with me. But anyway, Darvic is also on the flanks together with Pafundi and Musiala, like I said, in the advanced midfielder role. Then we still have Dewsbury Hall here in the reserves, such as Bernal and Hincapie. Dean Henderson also there. Marcus Rashford is getting injured after injury, so he's not really getting a lot of playing time. McTominay, like I said, and Milinkovic-Savic, and all of these players are out on loan. And eventually, we want to sling some of them down, but many of them are wonder kids which I want to keep a tab on. To end off the episode, I wanted to show you who we've been drawn in the Champions League, and it's been pretty tough. Paris Saint-Germain, Red Bull Leipzig, Zulte Waregem, Braga, Real Madrid, Feyenoord, Lens and Shakhtar. So definitely 3 big matches against Paris, Leipzig and Real Madrid. But I think we should be able to go for automatical qualifying again. I'm going to be simming to the January transfer window once again. If anything cool happens, I'll show you in the meanwhile. But other than that, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below, and I hope to see you lovely people in the next episode.